Mikel is here speaking to us now. What did you enjoy about your team tonight?
That we were us. That's what I demanded before the match. I want to see that energy, that determination, that fluidity, that movement, that purpose in our play. And that was there from the beginning. That lead to connecting with our crowd. Obviously, you know what happens when we are able to do that. And then, obviously, the goals were really helpful because they set the tone for the rest of the game.
But you pushed Chelsea back right from the start. Was that part of the team talk, part of the plan tonight?
We wanted to do that. We know that if we knew that we could dominate them and put them in the final third, they were going to have issues. The moment, like in the last 30 minutes, we allowed them to run, don't finish action, and start with all the transition moments against the players that they have, you have problems.
But to say that was more like us, did you feel you'd lost something along the way in the last few weeks?
Obviously, we conceded very poor goals. The performance against City was something very different to the other two, and today we have to be back to be much better in many departments, and I think we've done that, especially the first 60 minutes.
Mikel, you were absolutely magnificent today, especially in the first half and the first 15 minutes of the second half. The next thing for you is that killing teams off even more, 4 and 5-0 instead of dropping off?
For sure. I think I totally agree with you. I think those 50 minutes in the second half, we should have scored 2 or 3 goals. Then the game is over and you have to control the game in a different way. When you don't do that and you start to give the ball away and not controlling certain spaces against teams like that and they punish you, then some doubts appear again, and that's probably the next step.
You've been conceding a couple of goals in the last couple of games, and today you make some really important changes. Are you happy with the teams, the way that they answer defensively?
Yes, especially Jakub. Obviously, it was a big task for him. You know, he hasn't played in the Premier League yet, and to throw him in against those players, it was a big ask. But we believe that he was ready. I think his partnership with Gavi worked out really well. I think Georgie as well, we gave us a little of control and leadership in that midfield, and I'm very pleased with them.
Mikel, going a little bit away from the game, you know, I've been lucky enough in the couple of months to come to the training ground, and thanks to you, Vic, for allowing it as well. But getting to know a little bit of the players and being around them, I realized that the togetherness of the team and the profile of the player is always very humble, very positive. You know, when Saka misses a penalty, everyone goes to him. When there is a tackle, when someone is down, I see that the togetherness that sometimes makes teams champions. Is this something that you as a coach, Edu, the club in general, look, apart from the top player, the other side of being a good guy, humble guy?
I think to make something successful and permanent, I think you need, first of all, the best people and then the best players. Yeah. And I think the first one is easier to recruit than the second one, but at least they have to be great people. And when you have that, and I think we are that across the club, not only players but staff as well, it's really helpful to build something like what we want.
Of course, everyone's going to be asking the question, and we do ask the question every week. Mikel, can you win the title? Are you going to stop City?
We have 4 games to go. We are top of the league. That was one of the things that we talked about, is tonight, can we go back and be where we've been for many months? And now we have to wait and see. It's not in our hands. We know that.
Because it must be so important to you, given the fact that you've challenged, you've led all the way to finish the season strongly and take it as far as you possibly can, at least.
For sure. We're going to try to do that against Newcastle. Now we have another tough match, and we'll try to prepare it to win.
But if the season ended now, how would you actually reflect on it?
I am on holidays tonight. You don't see me for 2 weeks or 2 months.
Oh, come on, how would you reflect on what you've seen from your team?
Regardless, up to today, what this team has done, I think is remarkable. They fully deserve it, especially the players and the staff. And we are really happy. We're going to have Champions League football after so many years, and we've done it with 5-6 games to go. But we have to be unsatisfied, and we cannot accept that this is good enough for this club, and we have to push even further, see where we get.
And in some ways, maybe Newcastle on Sunday is a little marker, comparison of your progress?
I don't know. We look at us, what we can do better, and keep improving.
How's Gabriel, by the way? Is he going to be okay for that game?
I don't know. He had to leave. He wasn't comfortable at all, and that's pretty strange from Gabi because he's a big fighter, but I don't know.
Will we see Saliba in that game, potentially?
I don't know either.
No. Okay. Well, we wish you well. We'll see you on Sunday for more of these interviews.
Okay.
Good luck. Thank you very much. But interesting to hear, Cess. You say you've been around the training ground. Interesting to hear him talk about, you know, this has been an amazing season for Arsenal. whatever happens, is it important for these fans not to lose sight of that and almost not to be too focused on whether they can or can't beat Manchester City? The progress has been amazing.
Listen, we need to understand, first of all, that Man City is an outstanding team. Like, when I say outstanding, between players, ex-players, we talk about Manchester City and it's like, wow, this is the best team in the world. So taking it from there, Arsenal is having a fantastic season. I think Edu and Mikel have said themselves that they shouldn't even be here at the moment. This was not the step for this year.
But they are here.
But they are, 100%.
They
but
are here.
no, but the question
I
is
have to
if they're having
disagree with you a little bit,
no, but they're saying, is it a great season? At the moment, it has been a great season, and they were not expecting to be where they are today.
No, but now that they are there, they were 8 points clear. Yeah, and they were playing brilliant football. Everything was going well. You know, they have got behind because of 3 games for me. Everton away, West Ham drawing, and here
Liverpool,
against
yeah.
Southampton. Now, they have been challenging against Man City. Yes, Man City is a very good team, and to win the league, you have to be perfect against Man City. But they're going to look back, and they're going to look back at the games, Southampton here and West Ham. And I'm not talking about the Liverpool, because that can happen. I'm not talking about others. I'm talking about those games. And they should have won those games and won. And then you go to Man City, and you can lose against Man City, because that can happen.
But those games, Jimmy, I'm agree with you. Those games are important in those periods of the season.
Yeah.
And when you are in those periods of the season, you expect your top players to perform, and they didn't really do it. But at the same time, I think you have to look in at where Arsenal were last year and where they are today. There is a progress in this football club.
Yes,
and of course, the players in the dressing room, they will want to win the title. But we are
Patrick,
talking, but you know, we know that you are going through,
yes,
during the season, you're going to go through a difficult period.
Yes, I agree, but I disagree, because if they were third, hold on, if they were third the whole season through, and they have a spur and they end up second, then I say yes, you're right.
But the season is a long season,
it's a long season, but they were top the whole season.
I don't want to find any excuses, because I believe that.
And I'm not talking about the Brentford game here, where they were
no,
unlucky.
but you're talking during the season when you, like Cess said really well, City are 5-10 years above Arsenal because of the way that they've been building the team.
But
they
Arsenal
have
were-
the same squad
Arsenal
for
were better
years.
than them.
Yes, but the season is so long. And what will make you win the title at the end is experience
Yes,
as well.
The season is long, but they were in control before the game against West Ham.
There is
and,
not an
and
easy
Southampton.
game.
No, there is no easy game. You're right.
Disagree. There is not an easy game.
I get your
you're
point,
right.
Jimmy. We get your point.
But
Experience will make you at the end win the title during the season. Where you
how
have
experienced was Leicester? It
Leicester,
happened.
how many Leicester do you have every 20 years?
One, no.
Well, one every 100 years, I think, the way
But-
that
but-
story
but-
unfolded. I wanted to ask you, Cesc, about that experience that you talked about with Mikel Arteta, watching him on the training ground. You've played for some of the best managers. What is he like watching him work? I mean, what sort of level are you putting him on already?
Very high, because he is very clear about what he wants to do. Mikel is detail, goes into the detail 100% for everything. And what I like is the message that he gives, his authority on the pitch when he coaches. Everyone listens, everyone is alert, everyone understands what he's trying to do. And you know, the message is always very, very positive. And you need to be like that. And remember that he's been coaching for 4 years only.
What's it like preparing a team to take him on?
I think it's, you don't be successful in the Premier League without going into the details about how do you want and what do you want from players. But I think it's about the football club. I think him working with Edu have a really good vision about what they want to achieve, how the profile of the players that they want, the style of football they want to play. And when you have this kind of clarity, they allowed him to work. And this is, I think, a dream for every manager around, is to have a really clear idea about what is your role and responsibility on when you're recruiting players, how do you want to develop those players. And he's been doing really well. Today he made a couple of chances who had a really big impact on the games today. And through the season, he makes some really tough decisions. And it was a question mark about letting Aubameyang leaving, about Lacazette leaving. And he built a team to perform the way that he's seen the game. And that is something really special, really good for him.
Yep, that build.
السلام عليكم. يستقبل اليوم نادي أرسنال فريق تشيلسي المتعثر وسوء النتائج المباريات الأخيرة وتغيير المدربين ويعني سوء حظ، يعني ممكن أن نقول سوء حظ اللاعبين تشيلسي. يعني أنها تبدو مباراة صعبة بين أرسنال وتشيلسي، يعني ديربي غدا بلندن. يعني أرسنال يجب عليه أن يفوز لكي يستمر في الضغط على المتصدر مانشستر سيتي. يعني تبدو أنها مهمة صعبة لفريق أرسنال للظفر باللقب في ظل مانشستر سيتي والمحنك غوارديولا. في جهة أخرى تشيلسي ليس تشيلسي 2021 و 2022. تشيلسي هذا الموسم سيء جدا، سيء للغاية، لاعبيه سيئين للغاية، رغم أن هناك سوء الحظ قليلا. لكن لامبارد مدرب يعني بكل صراحة مدرب فاشل، وسوء يعني سوء اختيار أن يحمل على كتفيه يعني تشيلسي في ظل هذه الأزمة. يعني يبدو على أن تشيلسي بالهاوية، والمباراة في نظري سوف تنتهي بنتيجة 2-1 لمصلحة أرسنال. إلى اللقاء.